We're talking about examples of calmness on page 82.
Oh, I didn't bring that down.
ועיין במעשה אריכות אפיים המובאה בתורה וספרי הנביאים. To learn more about calmness, delve into the stories that discuss calmness in the Torah and the books of the prophets. There's a big problem that we don't study Tanakh well. We learn it, Chumash, we read for the weekly parasha, we hear nice Dvar Torah, we move on. The Tanakh, the holiest books that we have, more holy than any of the other books of Musa that we have. We must look first and foremost to our Torah, to our prophets, to discover how to be a better person. Everything else comes afterwards. But first and foremost, our Torah. בשעה ששיכך ראובן את חמת השבטים לבל יהרגו את יוסף. When Reuven cooled down the anger of the brothers when they were trying to kill Yosef, when he told them, השליכו אותו על הבור הזה, throw him into this pit. עברו כשוך חמתם וכעסם במחשבת ההריגה אל המכירה. This resulted in them coming down and changing their plan from wanting to kill Yosef to just sell him. כך כתוב, like it's in the Torah. ואריכות אפיו של יוסף שסלח לאחיו וחמל עליהם וסיפק צורכיהם. When Yosef, עליו השלום, when he forgave his brothers and he was kind to them and he was calm, he helped them out to give them what they needed. הרי הוא מן המפורסמות, it's already one of the most famous stories of compassion that we have. וכבר נאמר בה מה שנאמר, and this is already well known and discussed. There's no reason to delve into it more. Anybody else in the world would want to take revenge. And Yosef HaTzadik chose to follow in the character trait of calmness, the midah of arichut apayim. The next character is Shaul HaMelech. Shaul HaMelech has been given a bad reputation. A bad reputation. We talked about it the other week. Shaul HaMelech was a tzaddik, was a kadosh, was a holy man. So he made mistakes. So what? What's the problem? There is no righteous person in the world who doesn't make mistakes. No such thing. So some mistakes were greater than some other people. Okay. That's how he made the world. That's how he made the story.
He was the one who sort of initiated the destruction of the entire city of Jerusalem, so can't call that a mistake.
It was an avara. He did something wrong.
Well, it's something wrong, but it's not just a mistake. It's more of like a pretty big, like pretty, not something that you can so easily call someone a tzaddik without providing an actual, some specific excuse for that situation.
He was Bechir Hashem, he was the chosen man of Hashem.
So you have to provide a specific excuse.
Why an excuse? Why can't you just be wrong?
That's worse than the average mistake.
If I would take you and hang you up for the whole world to see, with all the avirot that you've done, in comparison to your greatness, which my greatness is not like Shaul, and your greatness is not like Shaul, proportionally, you may have just as many mistakes as he did.
I guess. But it's not.
So we make Shaul transparent. Can't blame him.
That's assuming that's proportional. I mean, once someone's like considered the B'chir Hashem and that title and everything, when that, like, it's harder to let things pass as mistakes. Like, you have to give them more thought and maybe an explanation and a reason.
About what happened. I'm not excusing what he did. Simply saying that he was still a holy man.
But, I mean, isn't it the logical thing to provide an excuse?
If I were to teach what it was that he did wrong. Yes. Shaul HaMelech, b'arichut apav shel Shaul, but the calmness of Shaul, Bechir Hashem, the chosen one of Hashem, shesalach le'ele shebizuhu, he forgave those who degraded him. Lamot chefetz ha'am nahogam, even though the people wanted to kill them. Omer HaKatuv, the verse says, ויאמר העם אל שמואל, the people came to Shmuel, מי האומר שאול ימלוך עלינו? Who said, can Shaul rule over us? Who are these people? תנו האנשים ונמיתם, give us the people and we should kill them. ויאמר שאול לא יומת איש ביום הזה, כי היום עשה אדוני תשועה בישראל, no one shall be put to death today. For today Hashem has saved the Jewish people. Shaul HaMelech chose the route of being a better person. He could have, as a king, degrading the king is liable for the death penalty. Shaul could have killed him. He chose not to. אריכות אפיים. Calmness. David HaMelech. ואריכות אפיים של דוד. What about King David and how he forgave Misalcho uvehitapko melharog et Shaul? When he was calm and restrained himself, because he forgave Shaul, he restrained himself from hurting him. There was opportunity for David HaMelech to kill Shaul. He chose not to. Af ki bikesh et nafsho begalui, even though Shaul was openly hunting him, he wanted David's head. Ha'alta gam hi al haktav. This has also been written already in the text. ותשובת שאול והודעתו לא הייתה, and when Shaul confessed, Shaul says, צדיק אתה ממני, you are more righteous than I am. כי אתה גמלתני הטובה, because you have done goodness for me, you have paid me with good. וכי ימצא איש את אויבו ושליחו בדרך טובה. Does a man normally find his enemy and then let him on the road for free? והשם ישלמך טובה תחת היום הזה אשר עשית לי. May Hashem repay you with kindness because of what you did for me today. Two enemies, rightfully so, ready to kill each other. David HaMelech says, go, I don't want to kill you. You know what restraint that has to have? How much greatness one has to have? For Shaul to confess and say, you're a better man than I. I'm not sure that if I was in your shoes, I would do the same thing.
Was it Shaul or Shimon that was in the cave and could kill the enemy, but instead he just cut off a corner?
This is David HaMelech.
Okay, that is
yes.
David. Okay.
Very good. וכן אריכות אפיו והתאפקו מלהרוג את שמעי בן גרה. And when he was holding back from killing שמעי בן גרה, ואמרו הניחו לו ויקלל, leave him alone, let him curse me. וסליחתו לו, כשרה לקראתו הירדנה, ושבועתו לו עם עמיתך בחרב. When Shimei later came to meet David HaMelech at the Jordan River, David HaMelech swore to him, I will not kill you with the sword. Oh, but there's a good question here. For those of you who know Tanakh, we know that David didn't lie. He did not kill Shimei ben Gera, but who did kill Shimei ben Gera?
Wasn't it Shlomo?
Very good, Shlomo HaMelech. Shlomo HaMelech killed him. Who told him to kill Shimei ben Gera? David HaMelech. So David HaMelech says, I won't kill you. Oh, look how calm he is. So why did he tell his son to kill him? אכן את מצוותו לשלמה להורגו צריך לפרש שהיה חייב לעשות כן על פי דין תורה. You must understand that the reason why David HaMelech commanded Shlomo to do so was because according to the din Torah, according to the halacha, Shimei ben Gera was liable for the death penalty. היות וביזוי זה נתבזה בפרהסיה. This was not something that was done to King David in private. If he had degraded King David in private, David HaMelech could have also forgiven him. But the moment one degrades the king in public, it's out of the king's jurisdiction to forgive such a person.
So why did he do it during his lifetime?
Because he still wanted to be the better man. He wanted someone else to do it. He didn't want it to look like it was some kind of petty revenge, that David HaMelech was taking revenge on Shimei ben Gera.
That he sincerely didn't want to take revenge, right?
Correct. He felt that he had no choice. It wasn't a revenge for him. You have to understand that the moment someone begins to undermine the leadership, everything else falls apart.
He should have done it right then and there.
What?
But he should have done it at the time, because
He didn't want to. David HaMelech was a bigger man than just killing everybody who got in his way. We find in this goodness, not him neglecting from doing a mitzvah. Some mitzvot you don't have to be so scrupulous about running after. כפי שכתבו בעלי המסורת, the rabbis of the transmission of our tradition, the Rambam is quoting his father. שאם תלמיד חכם נתבזה בפרהסיה, אסור לו למחול. If a Torah scholar was degraded in public, he is forbidden to forgive them. קל וחומר מלך משיח ונביא. How much more so an anointed king, a prophet? If the leader of the country is being, the rug is being pulled from under his feet, what power does he truly have to lead the people? And therefore, there's a respect for the office of the king. The king may have done wrong. We must have an obligation to keep that intact. You want to criticize in public, it's maybe okay. But in public we can't. You know, it used to be in Israel. The right-wingers and the left-wingers have been fighting since 1948. David Ben-Gurion and Menachem Begin. But when they went outside of Israel, and they spoke in the UN, or they spoke in the United States, wherever they spoke, no matter if it was a left-wing prime minister or a right-wing prime minister, they refused to speak about each other in front of the rest of the world. To the rest of the world, we must look like a united front. Inside of our own country, we can fight whatever we want. But we don't air our dirty laundry in public. The left wing began, later in Israeli history, to go out to the non-Jews, to the Germans, to the British, to the French, to whoever would listen to them, and start preaching against Israel. That was the beginning of the end. How that once you undermine ourselves in public there's nothing you can do. There's nothing to take back. The world has already heard. Urayana Devar, and a proof to this, Amirato, what it says in Melachim, Vata al tenakehu. You may not deem him innocent. וזה הפירוש היותר נכון, לפי מיטב הבנתנו, כיוון שהוא מתאר את עצמו לאמור, אם גמלתי שומי רע, וכיוצא בזה. David HaMelech was not involved in this out of any kind of personal vendetta. He wasn't motivated by, I want to kill, I want to win, he was motivated purely by what Halakha wanted. And you see over and over and over, David HaMelech is making statements about him not wanting to punish those who caused him harm. That was David HaMelech's intention. And therefore, when he had to command Shlomo HaMelech to finish the job, this was something that he did out of a need to follow Halakha, not out of an inner anger that was burning against somebody else. So the next paragraph will continue next week.